to Girls Central, brought to you by the YWCA Santa Monica West Side, whose mission is to eliminate racism, empower women, promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. My name is Jackie, and we have a great show for you today. Let me start by asking my friends a get-to-know-you question. What is a fashion object that best represents you?
My name is Meredith, and I would have to say heels because I wear them all the time, and they just kind of give me like more confidence in a way, and I like feeling taller because I'm a really short person.
My name is Jalen, and I'd have to say that my favorite clothing item is this jean jacket because thank you, because it goes with pretty much every outfit, and you can decorate it with cool buttons, and I just feel really cool in it, and I just
Hi, I'm Brenda, and I would have to say Punjabi pants from India because they're just so baggy and comfortable, and I love wearing them all the time.
Right.
And I would say that I'm a 1960s shift dress. They were very fashionable at the time. They're super cool, super hip, and I love vintage stuff. So love that. All right, thanks, girls. Okay, so today we'll discuss hot topics affecting teen girls, show you some advice straight from the red carpet, and later on, Unadi will bring back our career segment to show you what it takes to be an event producer and wedding coordinator. Okay, girls, let's talk. The media today is known for exploiting female celebrities, prompting many celebrities to fight back. Instead of focusing on the work that female celebrities do, it seems like all that matters is what they look like. Some female celebrities refuse to answer sexist questions, while others don't seem to mind. What are your opinions on this issue, and to what degree is it a problem?
I feel like female celebrities, they deal with more. They are seen as sex objects more than they are actresses. They're not so much viewed as what they do, their career, or their talent.
Do you know the actress Mayim Bialik from Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Well, I recently watched this interview of hers, and it was so annoying because there's this guy interviewing her, and he was kind of downgrading her. He was like, oh, do you ever have people come up to you and ask you if you actually know these science things? But she has a degree, she's studied this, she does know it. But because she's a famous girl, apparently she won't have the knowledge for it, and she's also raising kids, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's so many actresses who've gone to Harvard and Yale and really top universities. It's
they're
just
knowledgeable.
Exactly, just because they're actresses doesn't mean that they don't have, incredible knowledge, and it's acting is a skill, it's an art, and it's something, that not everyone has.
Bringing up what Meredith said, they're just looked at as sex objects and what's beautiful.
They're seen exactly as idealistic beauty,
Then what happens when you have celebrities like Kim Kardashian who are all about their beauty? They're not anything else.
That's true.
But there's more than one type of girl.
And still, even with Kim Kardashian, any photo shoot she does that's somewhat sexy, it's always the people that are but she's a mother. But there's David Beckham who did an underwear photo shoot, and people are just oh, he's so hot. And he's a father, but no one ever says, but he's a father, he's an uncle.
Such double standards.
Yeah, exactly.
But then as well, there's also some where it's he did his underwear shoot and people were oh, he's so sexy. But then
Nick Jonas.
Yeah, Nick Jonas did his underwear shoot. Everyone was oh, he's so sexy.
Yeah.
But then there's some female models or even actresses that'll do something similar and people will be
and
oh, that's so inappropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a woman. She should have higher standards for herself.
She's a role model to girls.
Exactly.
I don't think that what you wear necessarily dictates how great of a role model
or
you are.
who you are, not at all.
You're still a human being.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's unfair how it's treated that way because these people have actual talent,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It's so hard because, especially with actresses, when they go to award ceremonies, they always get asked, oh, what are you wearing? Who are you wearing? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at an award ceremony to be awarded for their acting talent, not for what they're wearing.
Exactly.
I would understand if they were at a fashion shoot or a runway shoot, but it's not that. And it's so frustrating when they only ask, oh, who are you wearing? It's ask them about what they're actually doing.
And also, even after they ask that, sure, it may be interesting, they don't ask any, other follow-up questions. It's, precisely, your fashion style.
It's
who did your makeup, who did your hair.
And it's only for women, it's not for men.
No.
Should we ask men those
you don't go up to a man oh, is that Gucci?
You're oh, how do you feel about being nominated for blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's really not fair at all.
It's not the same for women.
Even when women aren't trying to be promiscuous or sexy or anything, their bodies are just always sexualized.
And always scrutinized too. Oh, look, she gained some weight. She gained 5 pounds.
Oh yeah.
It's unfair.
Or she just had a child and she hasn't lost all her weight yet in a week.
Yeah,
I know.
And if she has, they're oh my gosh, Kim Kardashian's easy way to lose weight after having a baby.
Yeah,
she
that's
just had a
every
baby.
magazine ever.
Or like how sometimes if you do a commercial, if you're like a male, you like have to actually know what's going on, but if you're a female, you have to look good.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you guys for sharing. All right, even though we are still in high school, with college applications coming up for rising seniors and the future ahead of us, it seems like the whole college process is just a scary mess. Do you girls have any advice on how to deal with this stress?
Yeah, I mean,
being that most of us are seniors
Yeah.
and you're junior,
Yeah.
which is one of the most crucial years for college.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's putting stress on you and expecting you to know what to do. And the thing that gets me the most is, like, people have always told me, like, you need to start applying, you need to scholarships, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, but it's like no one's ever sat down and helped me.
Yeah.
Like, here's the first step.
Yeah.
It's like I never had that help, and it's like you can't just tell someone
yeah,
to do
but
that.
like
Don't rush
personally,
into
like
it.
something that like someone has told me, like if you don't know what you want to do yet, but you know you want to go to college, like go to a community college for a couple
Right.
years. Because then, like,
Or
you
even if
save
you go
so
to a
much
4U,
money.
you can still say you're undecided.
Yeah, you can go
Yeah.
right with
Don't
your
feel
major.
rushed
But I
to like
mean,
find
like,
a major.
you just
money
save
or whatever,
money.
exactly.
If you
Yeah.
want, you know.
And that's another thing, like, people think that you have to go to, especially here in California and other places local, but they always think that you have to go to USC or UCLA, like those are the
Yeah.
top
Oh my
schools,
God.
and it's like there's so much more out there.
There's
It
so
feels the
much
pressure.
more
But
out
like
there, yeah.
talking about like saving money, apply to scholarships. Look into scholarships,
Yeah.
like
Grants.
yeah,
Yeah.
there
You can
aren't
get
just
a grant
scholarships
for, like,
good
writing
grades in
cursive.
There are all
sports.
kinds
Yeah.
of scholarships.
You can have a scholarship for being a POC or person of color, or like for
Having red hair, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
like,
so many.
there's
There's so many
random.
options. I think with stress, the thing that I try to keep for myself is just to stay grounded. The college application process is completely random. You
Yeah.
think that you could be the most qualified human being on the
And
face
not
of the
be
earth
And
and
it'll
just
be
not
some
get in.
random
It's
reason.
completely random.
Yeah.
And so don't be disappointed when you don't get into schools. That's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to keep
Yeah.
for myself.
Like,
Also,
don't
take
give
a-
up right there. Like,
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
Take a lot of time with your personal essays, because that's another thing that, like, besides your GPA and your extracurricular, it kind of ties into who you are as a person. And like
Like
that's
they want to
another
know
big
about you, not
Yeah.
just your grades.
They wanna
Yeah.
know, and,
like you're still a person.
don't feel like it's only grades. Like extracurricular, like clubs,
Oh, yeah.
outside
Yeah.
things, those are really helpful, because just because you have straight
Community
A's won't
service.
make
Yeah.
like, you know,
And
get
there
into
are
the
schools
school.
that you need straight A's to go to, like a lot of the Ivy Leagues. You need to have a
Yeah.
4.0
Yeah.
GPA, but if that's not what you have, don't.
But just because you have a 4.0
Yeah.
doesn't mean you'll be accepted. Like
Yeah,
you have to have
exactly.
other
Yeah.
Yeah,
aspects.
but don't feel pressured to, like,
go to an Ivy.
yeah, or,
because
like,
people
do
think that
something you
that's,
don't
like,
want to
the
do.
way to
Like, make
go.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not the way to go. There's so many options
Yeah.
out there.
And also,
Also,
take
like-
the time to visit colleges. Don't just apply to them because
Yeah.
of their well-known name.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
let's say
Yeah.
you're applying to UCLA because
Yeah.
you live in California,
You have
but
to like the campus
let's
if
say
you're
you
gonna,
like
like,
get
be there
accepted
every
and you
day.
go there and it's not anything you wanted. Like, it might be great, but it also might not be. Like, get to know what you want.
And if you don't get into like your absolute top school, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
always transfer after 2 years or go to
Yeah.
a community
Yeah,
college.
exactly.
There's so many options out there, and so many people do transfer. And you know what? They work for the 2 years that they're in college, whatever college they go to. They work so hard.
Yeah.
And it's just a
Another
great
thing
option.
Is, like, I personally would like to go to school for film or anything in the media arts, really, and there have been people that have come into my film classroom telling us, like, you don't have to go to school for film to be in film. Like,
Yeah.
depending
Yeah.
on what you do, it just depends on, like, your other
Definitely.
education. You
Yeah,
can get
do
into
what
that
do what
field.
works for you. That's the phrase.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, thrifting is a hot trend today, and many teens, particularly in Los Angeles, are searching far and wide to find the perfect thrift piece. It's a great way to save money and show that style is what you make it. How would you girls describe thrifting, and do you like it?
Ooh, I love thrifting so
too.
much.
I think thrifting, if you don't know what thrifting is basically go into a Goodwill, Salvation Army,
Like a
Buffalo
secondhand
Exchange,
store.
Thrift store,
basically
flea
a-
market, garage
yeah,
sale.
It's basically buying things that people have worn, or maybe not have worn, but it's buying something that someone else bought for a cheaper price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the act of
I love flea
shopping at like
markets.
thrift
They're so
stores,
fun.
like in order to find maybe something that you would find at like any regular store, but for a cheaper price.
Yeah, I bought this skirt and this shirt from a thrift shop. Like, I
It's
buy
so
so
cute.
many
Yeah.
things from
so
thrift
amazed.
shops.
Like, I personally, like, I guess I don't know how to thrift because, like, I never do. Like, I'll go in and I just get really frustrated because you really
Yes,
have to
yes.
look.
You really
Okay.
have to look. But I love that. I love the finding
Yeah.
stuff because I have found pieces where I'm like, this should be, $150, $200.
Exactly.
Like for the homecoming dance, I didn't want to like go out and spend $100 on a dress. Like that's ridiculous. So I went to out of the closet and I found this great dress that I love. I even wear it to like other events and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like good quality. Like
Like,
just
I went-
make sure you take your time to look.
I went
Yeah.
thrifting with my brother, and like I consider myself an expert thrifter. I can thrift for hours. I just put my earphones in and I go. So we went to the thrift store, and he looked around for about 5 minutes, and he was like, "There's nothing in here."
You can't be
And I was like,
impatient.
"That is not how you thrift."
Yeah, you gotta thrift
Thrifting
for
is
hours.
very tedious. It's looking through.
You have to have
every rack.
patience.
Yes.
Like
You have to
like,
have a lot of
even
patience.
if like,
I
you
can't-
only like let's say
I
you're a
don't
girl
have
and you only
patience.
ever look in the girl section, maybe check out the guys section.
Yeah, I
you
do that
might
all the
find something
time.
you like. Like I found great like flannels in the
Graphic
men's
tees,
section.
jackets.
Yeah,
And you
definitely.
can always alter it.
And there's a Dollar Sunday thing at Jet Rag, so you could just look through all the.
that?
It's in downtown LA, but you just look through all these different
awesome.
boxes, and you can find super cool things. And a lot of the things that people find, they all turn you different things with.
Yeah.
So they may not be like the
Yeah.
best quality, but they make them their own.
And if
Exactly.
you like something, but like it doesn't necessarily fit you right, or if you don't like the style of it, you can always look up like different do-it-yourselves or
Yeah,
DIYs on
definitely.
YouTube
Yeah,
or even the
that's-
internet.
Because
And
it
you
used to
didn't
be
spend a
huge
lot of money
thing
on it
to,
anyway,
like,
so
And it'll be a fun project.
go to a thrift store and buy a cheap like $12 pair of high-waisted jeans and then go home and make your own high-waisted shorts. So it's just like thrifting isn't just I found this and I have to wear it how it is. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I did find once, like, I love when you find something super interesting and super cool. One time, I found this vintage Lily Pulitzer dress, and Lily Pulitzer dresses are so expensive, and I would never buy one because they're so much money. But it was like $7, and it's
Oh
just
my God.
to wear that and go around and be like, oh yeah, I got this for $7.
Yes.
That's the best feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wearing like a pair of Levi's shorts, and I was just like, these were $14. And
I
it
need to
just
go
seems, like,
thrifting
unrealistic.
now.
Yeah, you do.
Well,
It's
also,
so
if
much
you go
fun.
thrifting, like if something happens to an outfit, like sure you'll still be sad, but you don't feel as bad because you didn't spend like $80 on these
Yeah.
pair of shoes.
Like-
Like you got them for like $5.
And then the thing is, with thrifting, people feel like you have to go to high-end thrift stores, but Goodwill and Salvation Army are
They're
good
so
too.
great.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
like just
Alright,
look what you want.
All right, do you know what time it is? It's time for shout-outs.
Shout-outs! So I want to give a shout out to the SMC Cosmetology Department for doing all of our hair and makeup.
Shout out.
Shout out. Cosmetology.
It's a long name.
Yeah. All right, I want to give a shout out to my mom for
Shout out, Mom!
for supplying everything I need: school, food, clothes, fun movies, whatever. She has it. And
Nice. Go, Mom. I want to give a shout out to Lady Gaga.
Shout out Lady Gaga.
For being the most awarded MTV person in general with a total of 33 MTV awards.
No way.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That's a
right?
lot.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to Caitlyn Jenner.
Shout out Caitlyn
Jenner. She is an incredible woman,
Oh
and
my gosh,
no matter
yeah.
what people say, she is so brave for for coming out
Exactly.
and just in front of the entire public eye. And
Yeah.
I think
Finally
that's just
living
incredible.
the
So
life she wants.
beautiful.
Exactly,
as well.
exactly.
Being herself, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Definitely, it's so admirable, especially
Yeah.
when we're all going through college.
Exactly.
All right, that's it for our convo, but stay with us because coming up next, Unadi will be speaking to our very special guest, Alice Issac.
What advice would you give to the young girls of the world?
Let your work speak for yourself.
To not live someone else's life and someone else's idea of what womanhood is. Womanhood is you. Womanhood is everything that's inside of you.
Be absolutely who you are and stick to your instinct and your guts and don't try and be like other people.
And don't take, the Nike campaigns and the Victoria's Secret campaigns and think you need bigger boobs or a better butt or you need a tighter, ab or whatever else. Like, be happy with who you are and love your insecurities because when you grow up, I think that's what's going to make you you. It's going to differentiate you from the group. So that's what my mom's always told me. I followed it.
It's so easy to spread the message of being yourself, but actually sort of implementing it in your life is incredibly difficult. I think it takes a long time to find what makes you happy and what your goals are.
To not think in color. Don't think in color. You can feel in color because obviously it's beautiful and it's the best, but not think it. That shouldn't be the first thing you think about when you wake up and the first thing you think about when you walk out your door. Think about yourself.
I think we have to do things to keep a balance in our lives and not let any institution such as Hollywood define who we are. You've got to know who you are and present that.
All women, anyone, don't ask for permission. What are you waiting for? What are you asking for?
Yes, it's going to be a struggle, and yes, you're going to hear a lot of no's before you hear a yes.
but learn to enjoy the process and embrace it and have fun with it. You know, work hard, be so good they can't ignore you, you know? Keep to your morals, keep to your integrity, and don't stop fighting, because ultimately for any dream, for any goal, it takes a lifetime, and why wouldn't you want to give it that? It's not a race, it's a journey, and enjoy the journey.
Welcome back to Girls Central. I'm Unati, and today we're bringing you an inside look at how to turn your love of party planning, hosting, or organizing great events into a career. Here with me today is Alice Issac. How are you doing, Alice?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. I love supporting anything that helps girls be great leaders.
Awesome. Well, you're in the right place. Great to have you. So, Alice has been making events and weddings memorable for the right reasons for over 15 years, which is so beautiful. You know, in her free time, she loves serving with nonprofits, seeing friends, and singing. So welcome again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great that you get to balance everything that you do with all the hard work that you put into these events. So I'm sure your job brings a lot of joy to all the people you work with, and it must be exciting to help make all those memorable events come to life. So what is a typical day in your work life like?
Well, I would say it really kind of depends on the event I'm working on. If it's a fundraiser or a celebration of like an anniversary or a wedding, you know, you're first meeting with the clients and you're connecting with them on what their vision is, what they want the day to look like. And then you're working with vendors. I need to get the best deal, negotiating with photographers, videographers, caterers, all across the board for whatever the event is going to be.
Yes.
And then, you know, sometimes I'm at a dress fitting, a wedding dress fitting. Sometimes I'm helping her pick out the right shade for bridesmaids dresses or tux. I mean, really cake tasting, food tasting, it's endless.
Oh, that sounds delicious, that last one. And it sounds like you just do a lot of different things, so it's not necessarily a typical day.
Kind of depends on the day, exactly.
Ah, very cool. So they definitely don't teach all of that in school, you know, how to plan all these great events. So what skills are the most helpful for this career that girls don't necessarily learn in schools?
That's a great question. I would definitely say people skills is the number one. From working with a 3-year-old flower girl to perhaps a dad who's a little nervous to walk down the aisle to a best man who might be nervous about a speech, really all the spectrum of ages, different cultures, backgrounds, and then I would say time management. You have to really know how to run a tight ship in order for the day to be maximized in everything that they wanted to come together. And being organized. Every little detail is important to make the big day a success.
So attention to detail, big deal.
Absolutely.
And just organizing, so much organization, that is great. So how would someone know if this is the career best for her? Like if I'm someone who likes to take a lot of naps or my room is a mess, like some of you girls might feel me on this, like should I be going into wedding planning and event planning?
Well, I would say maybe don't lose hope. Maybe get a little bit more tidy and more organized just so that your world isn't so chaotic. But you know, a way to test it out would be get on board with whatever's happening at school. Do they have like a prom committee that you can help plan or a school fundraiser that you can be a part of?
Wonderful.
It's a great way to kind of test the waters and see if you're like, oh, this is too much order or too much organization or too many people. Or you might find that you really have a love for it.
Yeah, that's great. So you can test these things out, girls, like you just mentioned, in all your different school organizations, see if you're ready to take leadership and help organize these things. And it could be a great fit. If not, you just learned a lot about yourself, which is awesome too.
Sure.
So obviously, like you said, you need to be a people person. So is most of your time spent with people or working alone?
A little bit of both. So like I mentioned, first I start with what's important to them. I'm really listening to what it is they need to make this day or this wedding memorable. And then after that, I start contacting vendors, or I start working with caterers, I start working with photo booth people, you know, whatever it may be that's going to happen as a part of this event. And then it's me and my computer, logging away all the information, making sure that all the, you know, proper timeline is being organized. And then, you know, the big day or the rehearsal dinner is when you're back with people again.
Got it. So it kind of has its time and place.
Absolutely.
You're with people one moment, and then you need to work on organizing it for yourself, and then you jump back in with the others right after that.
Exactly.
Very cool. So imagine that you are in a lot of amazing venues. You've probably seen some really cool stuff, and you make everybody's events so magical. So do you get a lot of opportunities to travel for your work?
I do. I have to tell you, I've been really fortunate to go to Egypt for a wedding, a really exotic cultural wedding, Jamaica in this past year, and Hawaii. So yeah, it's been a wonderful chance to travel. Indeed.
That is just awesome.
Indeed, yeah.
And so culturally, it was very interesting. Do you have to kind of do research about the places you're about to go to?
Absolutely. Even here, specifically in California, I've done like half Chinese, half Filipino weddings, or half Indian. So it's really important to know the culture well, just out of respect for the event you're trying to put on. So, but regardless, the custom or the cultural nature of specific things, or maybe even wardrobe, their wardrobe might be different.
Right.
It's still at the end of the day a party. So there still needs to be food.
Yes.
There still needs to be entertainment. And whether they're coming in on an elephant or a limo, there's still got to be transportation.
So cool. Has it happened, the elephant thing?
Indeed, it has.
Oh my gosh. So you get to work with animals, you get to learn about cultures, and you get to make someone's party amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure many of you girls at home would love to follow in Alice's footsteps. What can girls do who are interested in this career to gain experience?
You know, one of the best places to start is see if you can intern. If you have a free summer or a couple of, maybe school load is a little lighter during the week, find a wedding coordinator you can intern with, or maybe if there's a local venue that has a wedding coordinator on staff, see if you can give a couple of hours there.
Yeah.
And also, again, just starting at throwing your friends' birthday parties or, local teacher celebrations or whatever.
Yeah,
Starting
so you can start small and then maybe jump in with interning. Have you used interns before yourself?
I've definitely had interns. I've had great interns that have turned into assistants that have gone on to, start their own production companies.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. So it turns into a great kind of mentorship.
Absolutely.
You never know, girls, what it can blossom into. So plug yourself in, start at the smaller levels, making fun events for friends, and then intern when you have free time.
Yeah.
So what would you be doing right now if you weren't working in this great event planning and wedding planning?
Well, I would probably be singing. And I kind of have a fun story about that. I had a bride once who, we were at the rehearsal dinner, and as you know, it's usually the day before the wedding is a rehearsal dinner. And her cousin, who was going to sing the solo, got laryngitis. And so she couldn't sing, and she was just mortified. The bride was just how are we going to find someone? This song has meant so much to us. And I said, don't worry, I'll find someone to take care of it. And she was like, how? It's so late in the day and tomorrow the wedding's so early. I said, I got it. Don't even think twice about it. And so I snuck in and sang the song.
It was you? Oh, that's so great. So you got to use your passion, in your back pocket and save the day, right?
Definitely. Any little creative skill that you have can really be your secret weapon at the right time. Creativity
is very cool. So when you go into this career, girls, it doesn't have to be that you only do this. You can use all the different wonderful things that you like to do and maybe save a wedding just like Alice did or enhance a wedding.
Yeah, I mean, if you're crafty, you can maybe help make favors that will make it really special touch, or if you have different kind of skills, they will come into play.
Very cool, very cool. Well, it was so nice to have you on. I don't want you to leave because this is so cool. I want to be an event planner now. So I hope you guys were listening.
Great at your job.
Thank you so much. So thank you for coming in and sharing your awesome career with us today. If you are interested in home to get involved with producing events or coordinating weddings, check out Alice's Facebook at the link below. And would you like to join us in our final dance?
Oh, girl, I can dance.
Oh, yes, up top. Let's
do
get it. All right, girls, that's our show for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning into Girl Central. Stay safe, stay organized, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Peace.